You are listening to the Free to Be Mindful podcast, which invites you along on a journey to learn of mindful living, grow in mental health, and inspire through personal growth. In a world where we can often feel much stress and overwhelm, this podcast provides bite-sized tips and real talk conversations, empowering you to embrace mindfulness and nurture your full potential. I'm your host, Vanessa de Jesus Guzman, licensed therapist, retired educator, entrepreneur, and mom of two. I'm passionate about helping busy moms reduce the overwhelm and to live life intentionally without losing their, here we go. Hello and welcome to episode 230 of the Free to Be Mindful podcast. I hope that you're feeling good, looking good, and doing better in this world than you were yesterday. So, as I always say, you can tune into these podcast episodes whenever, and they'll always have valuable lessons and insights to take home with you. But if you're listening to this when it's actually being released in real time, it's the week after Thanksgiving, where everyone seems to go from being grateful on this one day to being super greedy on all the rest of the days. And I kid, but you know that it may be kind of true because everyone is just looking for the next best sale, understandably so, of course. And I know this happens to me. I think about buying a gift for someone else and then think of a million reasons why I too also need that thing. Need in quotation marks. And if you've been tuning in with me for a little bit, you may remember me mentioning that I tend to look at the calendar year from September to June and then just having bonus summer months in between. And that's because I was in school from the age of 4 to the age of 39 until I left education to do private practice and entrepreneurship full time. And now, though, I have trained myself to look at the year through quarters. Around January, I'll discuss goals and such and how you can do those throughout quarters. But today, I wanted to share a much more personal reflection. In the therapy room, I always find myself educating clients of all ages, young kids, college kids, and moms, on how to take advantage of the right here and right now. Because so often we find ourselves looking forward to the next thing, looking forward to Friday, to the weekend, to the next vacation. And while all those feelings of excitement most definitely serve a purpose, there is something to be said on giving extra attention to what we have in front of us in the right now. And granted, a traffic jam isn't as exciting as a trip down to Dominican Republic to spend a few days under a palm tree, but there are positives to be found in every single moment. Last year I was, to put it comically, pooping in my pants when I found out that I was surprisingly pregnant after an IVF specialist about 9 years prior told my husband and me that, and I quote, "It would be a miracle for us to conceive naturally." So you can just imagine how mind-boggled we were when we came upon the news. And I'll be honest, when first finding out that I was pregnant just last year, my first thoughts circled around the ideas that I was over 40, that I had just taken on a third business, that I had recently met my goal weight, and all of these other thoughts that I was just focused on. And it took much centering of myself, much reflection, and some therapy to finally sit back and think, wow, I've legit been blessed with a miracle. And now having my daughter, who's almost 6 months of age at the time of this recording, I can attest that it really has been one of the greatest things that has ever happened to me. I have a deeper appreciation for the gift of motherhood later on in life, and I found a profound sense of purpose and joy in nurturing this new life. And while I still have ways to go on the aspect of having more patience, I do notice that I'm more calm and have a more measured approach to the challenges that mothers face. And that's thanks to years of experience. And this is true than when I was comparing myself to being a first-time mom 11 years ago. I'm more confident now in knowing that I have strength to navigate motherhood with more wisdom and experience. And while I know that I don't know it all, I most definitely do not know it all. I am fully at ease with that, as opposed to being like a ball of anxiousness with my first pregnancy. I'm also trusting in life experiences to guide this new chapter, celebrating every first with an extra sense of wonder through her eyes. And believe it or not, I also have a deeper understanding of the importance of love and connection. And I'm becoming more intentional, not just on savoring the precious moments and connection with the baby, but also with the rest of my family too. So I'm not saying that everyone should go and drop what they're doing and go have a baby this very moment. But what I am saying is that, especially coming off of Thanksgiving, where perhaps we spent some time reflecting or maybe sharing the things that we're grateful for, which typically include the generic things, but important things, friends, family, food, pets, shelter, and so on. We must also remember that there's so much more to be grateful for in our everyday lives. Think about it. Morning alarms remind us that a new day is here and that opportunities lay ahead. Traffic jams give us extra time to listen to music or podcasts or to just reflect. Dirty dishes are evidence of meals shared and bellies filled. Laundry piles are a sign of clothing to wear, that we have clothing to wear and activities that we've enjoyed in them. Busy schedules are proof of life with commitments and connections. Interruptions from kids. Oh, the interruption from kids. They remind us that there are moments that they want to share their world with us. Long lines give us the opportunity to practice patience and maybe even to people watch. When we come upon tech hiccups, it's a reminder of how much convenience it really does provide. When we have household chores to do, it's a reflection that we actually have a space to call home, which not everybody has. When we have to take unexpected detours in life, it's a reminder that there are new experiences or perspectives along the way. Even when we have conflict with those we love, it's an opportunity for us to learn, grow, and deepen these relationships. Being tired at the end of the day is evidence of effort and productivity in life. And sometimes I know it's hard, especially as a parent. I know before I go upstairs, sometimes I look at the living room and I think, oh, the noise and the clutter, right? Everything that needs to be picked up. But those things are also a sign of life and love and activity that buzz all around us. And yeah, it's easy to take these moments for granted. It really is. So, my friends, at the end of every podcast episode, I always lead you on a guided meditation. Have you ever thought, am I doing this right? Is this how it really gets done? I personally use something that tells me if I am actually in a meditative state, and that thing is called Muse. The headband is equipped with monitors that read your heart rate, your brain waves, tells you exactly when you're in an active, neutral, or calm state. It's super easy to use. You turn it on, you place it on your head, and you link it to the app. And the app has a ton of guided meditations that you can choose from. Not only do I use it on my own, but I also use it with clients as young as 5 years old. By using the Muse, you get all of the benefits that meditation gives you, like feeling calmer and more relaxed, having more focus and clarity, being better able to handle stress, and being more in tune with your emotions. But you're also going to have that biofeedback in your hands that tells you if you're actually doing it right. And what I love the most is that it really helps you with your sleep. You can get the Muse for your own home at a discounted rate by turning to the link in the show notes below. I hope it's as great for you as it is for me. It is easy to take these moments for granted when we're wired to notice big events, the deadlines, the changes. But my friends, gratitude invites us to slow down and to appreciate what we already have. So for today's guided meditation, I want you right now to take some time to reflect on the year that we have just lived, and ask yourself, what are the small, consistent parts of my life that I am grateful for? Which routines, although repetitive, have brought me comfort? And Who are the people who show up in my everyday life in quiet yet meaningful ways? Maybe it's the neighbor who always waves hello, the friend who texts you memes when you're having a bad day, or the family member who calls just to check in. These aren't grand gestures, but they do carry immense value. And even challenges have their place here, because perhaps the struggle to juggle work and home life taught us resilience, or maybe taught us patience, and maybe a difficult conversation brought clarity or a new understanding. My friends, trust that everything that has happened, the good, bad, and indifferent, has all been for a reason, and that it will all make you a better human for the year ahead. Thank you so much for listening. And please, if you have a friend who may benefit from hearing this message, please take this moment and share this episode with them. As always, it is my pleasure to share space with you, and remember that in a world where you are free to be anything that you want to be, you are always free to be mindful. Thanks so much, and catch you next time. Free to Be Mindful exists because of viewers and listeners like you. If you're enjoying the podcast or felt this week's show resonated with you, please take a moment to leave a rate and review on the platform where you catch your favorite shows. That quick and easy act allows me to see what you're enjoying so I can deliver more personalized content that focuses on learning, growing, and inspiring. It also helps others find the podcast too. Don't forget to subscribe so you can listen along next week. And if you can do me the favor and share this podcast on social or with a friend who may benefit from the message shared today, that would be truly appreciated. In the meantime, I welcome you to follow me on social media across all platforms at Counselor V. De Jesus for more fun content. And remember, my friends, in a world where you are free to be anything that you want to be, you are always free to be mindful. Catch you next week.